Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. How are you? It's Sunday. Welcome to Sunday. Been cold, isn't it? If you could hear any cake making noises, that's because David's currently in the kitchen making his father a vanilla and bay loaf cake. I can hear him with the old mixer. So there we go. Today's video is all about my reading, I call them resolutions, but reading and channel plans for the year. This is a video I film at the top of each year where I just have a little chat about maybe what's to be expected in the year to come, but also let's use this as an opportunity to find out what your reading plans are for the year. Have you got any reading goals, anything you want to read? Have you got a YouTube channel? Share it down below if you have. Interested. So I've got 10 reading targets. And I tried to wrap my brain for 10 channel targets. I couldn't come up with them, so I've got 7. So we'll start with the reading targets. The first one is that there is no target. So the first one, and as I've done this for the last few years, I have stopped using Goodreads now. I do feel like maybe I should have, I gave Storygraph a go at the top of last year, but didn't carry on with it. I mean, I feel already like it's the 19th of January when I'm filming, the 20th of January when I'm filming this, so like I already feel like maybe I've gone too far into the year to be able to use it. But yeah, I haven't set myself a target of how many books I want to read in the year. I haven't done this for the past few years. Just tends to work out all right for me. I feel like when I did used to set myself a target, I'd find myself like reading really skinny books, like really thin books, trying to get, or like ones with really low page counts, or like shorter books, just to try and keep up with my target. And then that meant that the quality of the reading wasn't like, I was prioritizing quantity over quality. So I stopped doing that a few years ago. That continues. Number 2 is that I will continue to use the library. I use the library more than I probably ever used it last year, and I already feel like this year I'm doing much the same. So I'm in a fortunate position of working in one, living in one county library area and working in another county library area, so I can join 2 libraries of which I visit both quite regularly. I've been saving myself a lot of money because I get a lot of books out, whereas like when I've been watching YouTube or listening to a podcast or something like that and I hear a recommendation, I would have probably put that on my list of something to buy. But more recently I've just been going straight onto my library website, preferably the one that I work near, because I don't have to pay for reservations there, and putting a reservation on, and that means that I can, if I don't like the book, then I haven't wasted the money, and also like I'm just not spending as much money on. David and I saving money this year, so there's a lot of money saving going on this year, so using the library is something I'm definitely going to carry on with. The library where I live, near where I live, you have to pay £1 for each reservation, and I've already done £20 worth of reservations this year. But again, that's sort of, I'm happy to do it because it's still giving the author money, and I'm using my local library, which is very, there's not many people in that library every time I go in there, so I think I really don't mind spending the £1 on getting the reservations in, because I know it's going back into the library. So yeah, I've been picking up a lot. The only thing is that I'm getting to read them all. I'm sat here with 2 piles of books next to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 library books I've got out at the moment, and like they've all got 3-week back loans on, but some of them you can renew, some of them you can't. So yeah, it's just getting to them and maybe prioritising the ones that I'm paying for. So yeah, I need to do that. So there we go. Money saving, I will continue to use the library as I did last year. Another money saving is that I've finally said goodbye to Audible. So I I say I've said goodbye to it. I've paused my account for 3 months with every plan, because I feel like I've got a bit of a dependency relationship with Audible, whereas the other apps that I've been, can you just hear David just making cake? The other apps that I've been using to listen to audiobooks, I've been using Libby and BorrowBox, both of which are run by the libraries. Sometimes, like a lot of the time, the books that I want to listen to are because they're popular or they just come out. You have to put a reservation on them, and then you have to wait some weeks for them to get to you. So I'm now in the state where I've got a couple of reservations on Libby and a couple of reservations on BorrowBox, so that means I'm never without an audiobook. But my breakup with Audible has been difficult because I've been like, well, what happens if I haven't got an audiobook? And I know that with Audible I can just buy one there and then and it come through. So this is a sort of like soft launch of me not being with Audible anymore, because I also get to keep my Audible library. So everything, and I've had Audible for like 9 years, so everything that I've had stayed in there, so I can re-listen, and there's some stuff in there I haven't even listened to yet. So like I will have audiobooks. I just need to do this in a sort of like, let's give it a go without Audible, and I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. I mean, at the moment I'm listening to Babel by R.F. Kuang on Libby, and I'm listening to, I cannot get my head around this title, Learned by Heart by Emma Donoghue on Borrowbox. So yeah, it's going quite well. Next up is my reading plans in terms of the Women's Prize. So the Women's Prize launched the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction this year, which is very, very exciting. I'm not entirely sure of the dates, but I know that the long list for the non-fiction, I think, comes out in February. And as always, the long list for the Fiction Prize comes out in March. I will link the Women's Prize website down below if you'd like to go and check out for definite. I've got every plans to read those long lists, which I think will be exciting and also challenging maybe with the non-fiction, because I feel like it's much easier to give a fiction book a go about a topic that you're not into, as opposed to a non-fiction book about a topic you're not into. So very, very excited about that. That obviously, if it is next month, which I'm sure it is for the non-fiction book, for the non-fiction prize, be putting a lot of reservations on. I'm not sure how many are going to be on the long list, or if there's even going to be a long list. They might go launch straight into a short list as it's a new prize. But yeah, I always have a lovely time reading the long list for the Women's Prize for Fiction. I mean, last year I only really liked 2 of the books, and I still had a great time reading them all. It's just a lovely part of the year for me and for BookTube. So yeah, we'll continue to follow both prizes this year. Excited about them. No other prizes though. I don't follow any other prizes. Do let me know down below if you follow any prizes. Next up is series. So last year I had the pure joy of reading the Cazalet Chronicles series. David's mum bought me books 1 and 2 for Christmas 2022, and then I read the whole series on the run up to Christmas, including the 5th book, which is set a lot of other stuff, but like the main part of it, the second half of it, is set over a Christmas, so it's lovely to be reading that around Christmas. Absolutely loved that, and just loved being in the series, and loved getting to spend time with these characters and their lives and the plot that runs throughout those books and within the books, and just, yeah, really, really loved being in a series. So we'll continue with that. When I filmed this video last year, I was talking about how I was reading Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I did read the first and second ones of those, and I do own the 3rd one, Voyager, down there, but I didn't finish that series last year. I enjoyed the second book more than I enjoyed the first book. I listened to it on audio. God, it's long. It was like 27 hours, and it went back to, that's another thing with audiobooks. When you get them from the library, if somebody else has got a reservation on them, you have to then, they have to go back and come back 6 weeks later. So there's a big gap in between my listening of it. But yeah, there's problems I have with that series, but I haven't said no to returning to it, because I actually like the premise of the books, but some of the behaviours in the books I'm not that keen on. Series I would like to get to is another series that I mentioned, I mentioned this last year, and that's the Daughters of the Forest Juliet Marillier series. I've read this many years ago. I don't really remember much about it. This is the first in the series. I think there's 3. Yeah, trilogy, 7 Waters trilogy. So at some point, hopefully, actually we'll get round to that this year. I've also had these books on my shelves for bloody ages. These are the Mirror Visitors books. They are by Christelle Dubois. They're fantasy YA translated from French, and there's 4 of them. I've got various, so I've got like finished copies. I've also got like proof copies of like, so I've got the whole series but in finished and proof copies, but I've always said to myself, because my parents have a place in France that they go and stay at. I haven't been for many years, and I always say, oh yeah, if I ever go and stay there again, I'll take those 4 books with me and I'll read them while I'm in France. Well, I haven't been for ages, and I don't think I'm going to be going, so I need to just get on with reading them if that's what I'm going to do. And then the last series is the Barchester Chronicles. I'll go and get the first one. By Anthony Trollope. This is the first one, The Warden, and then David's mum had already bought me the second in the series, which is called Barchester Towers. Don't know how many there are in the series, actually. Oh yeah, so The Warden is the first, then Barchester Towers, then Dr. Thorne, Framley Parsonage, The Small House at Allington, and The Last Chronicle of Barset. So 6. So 6 of these books in the series, so hopefully I'll enjoy those enough to get myself on with the rest of them. So yeah, so there are 3 series that I would like to read, like hopefully in completion really, but we'll see. There's also, I'm very much enjoying the HMRC series by Juno Dawson. I've read the first and second, and the 3rd one is out this year. The 3rd one is it's still 3rd, but it's the prequel, so it's set in Anne Boleyn's court. I'm really fucking excited about it. So yeah, we'll continue to read that as well. Reading challenges. So I'm still continuing my reading challenge that I've got this year. I'll go and get it because it's gorgeous. You would have thought I would have prepared for this video that involves lots of other props. So, what's that fluffy thing? I think it's a feather from one of Daphne's toys. So I've got two pens, two reading challenges that I'm currently partaking in. One is new this year, so this is the lovely box that my friend and yours, Jen Campbell, made for me for my birthday, with 10 little reading tasks and prompts in there, and every time I do one I get a little prize. I've completed 2 already. I've been doing this over on my Friday reading vlogs. I'll link them down below if you'd like to go and check out. So the first one I completed was read a book in translation, and for that I got these lovely little pins with flowers. They're adorable. And then the next one was read a book that was on another booktuber's best books of the year list, and I completed that last week and opened this gorgeous necklace, which is a book with little flowers in that are very similar to those on the pins. But yeah, so I've got 8 more tasks that I will continue to do over on my Friday reading vlogs. And then the reading challenge that I set myself last year was to complete this. So this was something that I gifted to myself for Christmas the year before. I actually got this for my friend Emma for Christmas last year. Yeah, it's got a series of challenges in here. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these left to do, and they range from things like reread a classic you hated in high school. Well, I've already got that lined up. I've got North and South lined up for that. Visit your local bookstore and ask a bookseller to recommend a book based on your recent favourites. Write down a favourite quote or passage from a beloved book and display it in your home. I might do that with cross stitch. Go to your favourite section of the library or the bookstore, blindly take a book off the shelf and take it home to read. So these are all absolutely achievable things. So on the Friday reading vlogs, I will get all of this done and all of the lovely challenges that Jen sent me. So yeah, those are the reading challenges. My book clubs that I'm running, I'm currently got 2 book clubs on the go. So I've started a new book club at the end of last year with my choir. So I go to a choir like basically every week, apart from like half terms and stuff, and I set up a book club whereby we would meet the first and the last rehearsal of every term and discuss a book. So there'd be a book being read in the break. So we read a book over Christmas and discussed that on the first meet back, which was Tackled by Ginny Cooper, and it was terrible. We all hated it. And then the next book we're reading, which is The Promise Boys by Nick Brooks, we'll be reading that on the last meet before Easter. So yes, we just go to Wetherspoons after choir and have a little sit round. I get a plate of chips and we just have a little chat about the book. The first time I did some questions and stuff, the second time I didn't, and we just have a little chat about the book, and it was very relaxed and very chill and yeah, enjoyable. And then I've got my Patreon book club, which has been running for years now and always looking for new members. Very, very exciting. Currently I should have these ready as well. 2 seconds. Is this video just me getting up and down the whole time? Go on.
Yes.
You've got a bit of cake mix on your moustache, so you've been eating it, have you?
I've just tried a little bit, yeah.
Is it nice?
Yeah, but it doesn't taste very like bayy.
Oh, that's all right, as long as it's vanilla though. So this month we are reading Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adeji Brenya. You may well still have chance if you read fast. We meet on the last Sunday of every month at 7 PM my time zone. So that's either GMT at the moment or BST in the summer. Oh, the summer. And we have a little chat. There's questions. There's 3 questions, so 2 specifically related to the book and then 1 more general. So even if you haven't finished the book or read the book, you can still join in. And yeah, it's lovely. I look forward to it every month. It's amazing. And we read some absolute bangers last year. So this is what we're reading this month. And then if you wanted to join in time for February, I mean, you can join today. Everything's linked down below. We're reading Sunny by Suk Olja. The theme for this month was 2023 releases, and the theme for February is dating. So there we go. So that's another book club that I run, and always welcoming new members. I will be taking part in the Irish Readathon, as I always do. Although I say that, I haven't checked with Aoife if it's running this year, but I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. It's one of the only readathons. It is the only readathon I take part in every year, and I love it. And I love getting to read Irish books and celebrating, and the camaraderie around the Irish Readathon, and they always pick a group book, which I always attempt to read and never get round to. In fact, I might read the group read from last year this year. But yeah, we'll be taking part in that. That happens in March as well, the same time that the the first half of March I dedicate to the Irish Readathon, and then the second half I dedicate to reading the long list of the Women's Prize. And there's normally like a couple of crossovers that I sort of try and hang on to any Irish, any books that I think might be long listed for the Irish, for the long listed for the Women's Prize that are written by Irish authors. I think, oh yeah, maybe I'll read that, and vice versa. Number 9 is that I'm planning on reading some of these bloody books from my shelves, because it's all good and well using the library. Like I said, I've got 25 books out from the library at the moment, but a lot of these books that have been on my shelves for many years, like I've got some proofs that were out. So here, Kololo Hill, I've been wanting to read that for ages. That, I've got the proof of that, and that came out on the 18th of February 2021. So that's been out like almost 3 years and I still haven't read it. So I've got lots of proof. There's one there from 2020. Yeah, I've got lots and lots of proofs hanging around, and like books that I've bought myself and stuff like that. There's some proof there from 2019. And stuff that when I've bought it for myself, I've been so excited and then not got round to it. One of the things I'm going to be doing, and I've done that, I started doing it last year, is where I read the first line of the book and then pick a book based on the first line only. I was doing that last year by picking a book, a red book, an orange book, a yellow book, and sort of playing them off against each other. But I think what I might do this year, I'll probably film that this week actually, ready for next month, is just take the red books and read their first lines and battle them against one another, and then pick one of those to add to my TBR for next month. So yeah, that's the plan. And then the last thing is that I've been doing another sort of reading challenge, I guess, is that every year for a long time now, I've been setting myself a sort of themed month. So last year it was Augusta Christie, and in August I read Agatha Christie books or books based on Agatha Christie works. I read Agatha Christie's memoir, it wasn't an autobiography, was it? What is it? A biography, that's what it's called. The year before that I did June Austen and read lots of Jane Austen books. I've done Little Women, where in May I read lots and lots of books based on Little Women. This year we're picking May again, guys, and we're going for Daphne du Maurier. Yeah? How do you feel about Daphne du Maurier? So I'm going to be rereading some of my favourite Daphne du Mauriers. I've got lots of Daphne du Mauriers on my shelf that I still haven't read, so that's exciting. I know there are some works based on Daphne du Maurier. Also, I'd like to maybe have a little look at Jane Eyre, which is what apparently Rebecca was based on, and yeah, have a little look and see how things are going with like the old Daphne du Maurier retellings. And it will be lovely to visit like some of my favourite Daphne du Mauriers like Rebecca and My Cousin Rachel, and maybe discover some more. So that will be going ahead in May. So those are my reading plans. My channel plans, you may well have noticed straight away that there's been a change in schedule. So last year I was attempting to put up 3 videos a week. I was going for Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. This year I've reduced that to a Wednesday and a Sunday. So there's one video that goes up on a Wednesday. That's not today. Today is Sunday. Happy Sunday. And then one video that goes up on a Sunday. So that means I've reduced the amount of videos that I've put up, but sometimes I was really having to reach to come up with ideas to do that. And also, if I wasn't feeling very well, which is happening more and more often these days, it meant I was missing out with putting content out and stuff like that, and I don't want to do that. I'd like to be ahead of the game, and it's nice to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room, so like today and yesterday I've been filming a Friday reading vlog, so that will go up on Wednesday. So I've already got the footage for that, and I'm filming this today, which is Saturday, and this is going up Sunday. So I've got like a week's stuff in. So if I do feel unwell, period, other stuff, then I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I also think it's sort of like a quality over quantity thing. So I think what you're going to be getting is going to be better than the stuff I was putting up last year and maybe the year before. The Friday reading vlogs, which is something that's really taken off, and I just absolutely love filming them. So Friday, I don't do my day job. On Friday I film a Friday reading vlog, which is just lovely. They've got some new bits in this year, which is very exciting, and I've made them slightly longer. People seem to be, like when I first started watching YouTube, like I would not even engage with a video that was over 20 minutes. Nowadays, people are like, oh, give me videos over an hour. People want the videos over an hour. So the reading vlogs on a Friday have extended. So they're now sort of like hitting the 40 minute to an hour mark. I think last week's was like an hour and 5. And they've got some new bits in them, which is very exciting. So I've got the same sort of stuff that I've been doing. So we ask a question, a bookish question at the beginning of the video, and then we answer it at the end of the video. I read out a poem at the end of the video, and then, like I said, I've got the reading challenges that I've been doing, but also stuff that I've added this time are I've been doing a bit of baking every week, which is very exciting. I'm working my way through the sweet roasting tin baking book, because I'm not very good at baking, but like I thought if I bake every week then surely I've only got one way to go. So that's been nice, and it's also been nice because like people around me are getting used to the fact that I bake on a Friday now. So like yesterday I was baking and then took it to the cinema. I baked the week before and my mum and dad came around, and then the week before that I'd been out, we went to my sister's for dinner. So yeah, it's nice that so there's a bit of baking every week is what I'm saying. There's also a classical music segment because I got a wonderful book called Year of Wonder, whereby you get a piece of classical music to listen to every day, and that might be because it's seasonal, or it might be because it's the anniversary of the death of that person or the anniversary of the piece or something like that. And it's nice to listen to classical music pieces that I've never even heard of. So I tell you about that piece, we go and listen to it, and then we have a little chat about it afterwards. And then I've been doing a little bit more cleaning, which is something that I really got into last year, and sort of been sharing a few little tips and stuff. So yeah, so those Friday reading vlogs have become, although based on reading, there's other stuff going on within those vlogs, and I'm really proud of them. Yeah, so, and also I think the Friday reading vlogs seem to be absorbing some of like the book haul stuff. I've been showing you the books that I've been getting out from the library in those Friday reading vlogs. So yeah, so they're just becoming, I'm very proud of them, and I think they're a nice place to be, so hopefully you feel the same as that. Number 3 is that the wrap-ups will stay as a separate video, so I don't think I'll be, although I talk about the books that I'm reading, I think to have a wrap-up at the end of the month, like I like watching those videos, I like making those videos. They're good sort of like references, I think, I enjoy watching them of other people's, because then off the back of that I'm like, oh yeah, I will go and get those books out from the library or read those books, or I've got that on my shelf. So the wrap-ups will stay, and they'll be the last video of the month. The TBRs, I'm bloody torn about the TBRs, because historically I've always put a TBR up on the first of the month, even if the first of the month doesn't fall on my scheduled day. So it's almost, sometimes it falls as a sort of bonus video, because if it was going to be Mondays, the first of the month, I put up a, all right David, sorry, banging around all over the place, then I put up a TBR. I did put up a TBR for this month, and I've been toying with TBRs because I'm not really reading all that many books from a TBR. As like I've said, I've got 25 books out from the library that I didn't know anything about at the beginning of the month, but because I've been watching people's wrap-ups, David stood there staring at me, hold on. What? Oh, is she drinking from her water? Oh, hold on, got to go look at Danny, she's very cute. He'd covered her up with a blanket. The blanket she's got is the exact same colour as her as well, so you can't even really tell she's covered up with a blanket. And sometimes, like, if I'm looking for her and I look on the sofa, I look at her blanket, I don't always notice that she's there because it's the exact same colour. But yeah, she did look very cute. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my TBRs. So yeah, like I said, I haven't really stuck to my TBR this month. I've read a few books. Thank you, my love. Those made me a cup of tea. I've read a few books from my TBR, but next month I won't know what books are going to be. Here she is! I won't know what books are going to be on the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction, so they won't be on my TBR, and then I'll end up reading that. The Irish Readathon, there's always nice prompts and stuff like that. So for March, maybe I'll do a TBR for that. But again, my reading will also be a lot of the Women's Prize for Fiction. So yeah, do I need to keep doing TBRs? I mean, do you enjoy watching a TBR? I quite like watching a TBR. I definitely like filming them because I'm like someone who likes planning, but I just feel like they're becoming a bit like unnecessary because I'm not sticking to them. So yeah, there's a question mark over the TBR. Maybe I won't do one in February, but and see how I get on, see how I feel. But maybe I will do one in March because of the Irish Readathon. But yeah, I just feel like there's other stuff going on. That's definitely going around the tripod's legs that's making you move. But yeah, not so sure. Number 5 is that I would love to host a readathon this year. I haven't done that for a long time, and I think I've only ever done it once, and it might have been, I think I did like a cozy reading weekend and we hosted that. Maybe that's something I could do, a cozy one. I keep toying with the idea of a 90s readathon, and reading books that are set in the 90s or written in the 90s or have sort of like, yeah, I keep thinking about it, but yeah, I haven't done that. But I mean, now I'm only putting up 2 videos a week. There should be time for that sort of stuff. There is going to be cozy reading nights. I've realised that cozy reading nights were a bit low on the ground last year. We did a Christmas one for Patreon, but there is a winter cozy reading night. I can tell you now, there is a winter cozy reading night on Sunday the 4th of February. Very much looking forward to that. That'll be at 7 PM GMT. It's going to be a live show because they run nicely. I don't know if David will be involved, maybe. He's getting into his reading this year, guys. He might well be reading, he wants to read 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton in February, so he might be reading that. But yeah, Sunday the 4th of February will be the next cozy reading night, and that will be a winter one. And I will endeavour to do a seasonal one, like there should be at least 4 next year. And then the last thing is live shows. Like I've just mentioned, the Cozy Reading Night will be a live show. I really enjoy doing the live shows. I feel like it's a nice way to chat. And during my Vlogmas, I did a couple of live shows. Once I did a wrap with me live show where I was wrapping my presents. We were just having a chat and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, the only time I've really done live shows is either for Cozy Reading Nights or if I've hit a sort of milestone in terms of subscribers. I think I'm on the brink of hitting 17,000. I think I'm on something like 16,700 and something at the time of filming. So, I mean, things have really plateaued here, and that's fine. Like, it's lovely. I mean, it's lovely that you're all here and watching it. So if I do go up to, it does feel like maybe I shouldn't have to wait to do the live shows. Maybe I should just do a few little live shows, and they count as videos as well, because it's nice just to have a little chat and a catch up. I also did a quiz during Vlogmas, which was really nice as well, a live quiz, and that was very low effort because it was from a quiz book that I already owned, and I did the quiz along with you guys. So yeah, let me know what you think about live shows and whether or not that's something that you'd be interested in joining in. Obviously you can always watch the live shows back. There's a little tab where you can go back and watch the live shows. So yeah, so those are my reading and channel resolutions. Let me know what your reading resolutions are. Let me know if you've got a YouTube channel, if you've got any channel resolutions, interested to hear from them. And yeah, have a lovely Sunday, and I'll see you all again soon for another Richard video. Goodbye.